we learned so much from Duke Brown yesterday, we thought we'd have him back, and he brought a whole bunch of stuff with him, and so I do want to talk about it. Welcome back to River Talk, Duke.
Thank you. Glad to be back.
I know you guys are going to talk about some of your
exploits.
Yeah, exploits, which will be kind of fun. Some of this I recognize from the TV show Baywatch.
Wow.
But this is older than Baywatch. In fact, yesterday you were telling me you started lifeguarding in 1965.
Yeah,
I wasn't
junior
even. Well, I was
guard.
born in '64.
I actually became official lifeguard with advanced lifesaving, or either senior lifesaving. I go back a few years, back in '71. I had my first stand in the beach in '71. And it was fun. I also, in '72, I worked as a pirate at Pirate Land, so I did both jobs.
Oh, so you were a pirate.
He was a pirate.
And kids would come by my stand. I was working the beach at Lakewood Campground because I'm originally from North Carolina, so I'd stay
What
in
part?
the campground. Durham.
Okay.
Ended up, they'd come by and look at me. I'd give them a little pirate, yeah. Hey, come here, bucko. They'd look at you, but it was worth. And lifeguarding back then, you didn't have the crowds you see now, but the families in these campgrounds took care of you. I never had to worry about lunch. They'd always, bring food down to you. And two, the old lifeguards would go in town. I think it was Bonanza. They'd give you a lifeguard special for like $1.25 to get tea, French fries.
Oh, yeah. I remember, back in the days, we still continued this when I was at WKZQ. It was the lifeguard of the day.
Yeah.
And that was a huge track for some of those guys. Because lifeguarding was a little bit strange. You have 10 guys live in one apartment.
Well, it was. The thing was, lifeguarding, at least beach lifeguarding, was a big issue back then. We didn't have all the water parks. We didn't have a lot of the activities.
Right. We were heroes.
So people actually came to the beach to go to the beach. Mm-hmm. Now there's so many things that they can do.
Yeah,
at the beach.
Well, it's funny because when I was in the Coast Guard and I got out, I came back to Myrtle Beach, and everything that we talked about yesterday about all the stuff you have to do, I had to learn it all in the Coast Guard, dropping off 40-foot towers and treading water and that kind of thing. So then I ended up to get my Red Cross life-saving certificate so I could be a lifeguard down here for the summer of 69 or 70. Of course, Jimmy Wilson.
Wilson.
You had to go to swim classes with Jimmy Wilson. That was a trip. Yeah. And so you knew everybody. All the guards knew everybody because it was a smaller beach then.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
And it was just a fun time, but also at that particular time they would rent floats. Yeah. That's how they would generate money. These franchises who own the different beach services would rent these floats out. Well, you can't rent them anymore, but they used to rent them back in those days, and they had to have the ropes clear around them so you could grab.
Oh, sure,
in case
I remember those.
But those were kind of different times too. And the lifeguard himself that's why we had Lifeguard of the Day. Was the perfect advertisement for anything in Myrtle Beach because they would go to the lifeguard. Hey, where should we go tonight or whatever? They really served multi-purposes down there. So,
referring to the floats, the ordinances dealing with floats, I think in the city and the county both refer to that fabric-covered float with 360-degree rope, or either it has to be a Coast Guard approved float. We call them Maypops, the real thin plastic ones.
Exactly.
That lose air real quick.
Maypop.
Or they could, puncture them real quick. So, and you don't see as many now. But when I guarded down in the campgrounds, you had at least back in the early 70s and late 60s, you actually had a float stand that you stick the floats into.
Exactly.
And then you have a little piece of plywood you set on. So you would end up sticking a pole out with chairs in front because it ended up getting splinters and you back in.
And then you had the picker that you walk around the beach, pick stuff up, had a little nail on the end of it. You go picking stuff up before they had the grabbers today. And you had if you accidentally took that picker and hit that float.
I actually had to deal with some lifeguards that had actually put those things to their feet over time. But it was a different time.
Well, it's a different time, and really, I kind of look like, I hate to say it, but it was a fun time because this is a serious situation, being a lifeguard. But we had a great time on that beach. All the guards knew each other, and you would say something fine. If you wanted to talk to some pretty girl while she'd come up, I'd say, Could you go to that next guard and ask him if he could give me 50 yards of shoreline? I'm kind of short this week. That kind of stupid stuff. Give me some whistle grease. Here, give me some whistle grease for my whistle. And you send them on a rampage marathon to find these
Do you remember
things.
going to Mine Sport Goods and getting your first Acme whistle?
That's right.
Yeah, I did that.
I still got a whistle.
I still got mine, too.
Yeah, it had a good pee in it. What about this thing here? I mean, I haven't seen anything like this since the USS Minnow.
That's the old ring buoy. The Red Cross found that in storage.
Yeah.
I hang it up in my garage, you know. It's
it's got Hartsville chapter on the backside of it.
Water Safety Service. So you would see those at lakes
look at
and
there.
pools.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, up north, you saw them on some of the beaches.
Well, yeah, but you couldn't save somebody out of a toilet with that thing. Look how small
Well,
that
look
is.
at, well, they hold on to it and you tow it.
Well, I guess so, yeah.
Now, that goes back a while.
Yes, that was my first type of rescue device.
I'd hate to get hit in the head.
When you run out, in fact, on my first rescue in 1971, I was running out with it, and I was trying to put the, the piece around my neck, the lantern, which was all rope. Now it's different and you'll see it on the other cans. But this thing is you're running out. And I tripped over it, fell flat on my face. And also, if you look at the lifeguard shorts, they were coaching shorts, not the lightweight ones we have now that, and you can tie. And I learned a hard lesson then because I had a real small waist back then. And I hit the water, and I had a pair of mediums. I should have had smalls. And
they came right off
came
there.
Right on.
Yeah.
And it's... Everybody clapped on the beach, of course. And lifeguard is underwear.
That happened to me, but they didn't clap. They started running.
Well,
oh my God, honey!
So after that, I started wearing lifeguard shorts. I even wear lifeguard shorts under my beach patrol uniform. If I have to go in the water, I want to make sure I have something that.
Oh, you wear them. He wears them to church. Who's he trying to get?
And these guys, I mean, they'll stay on you, but I'm just so used to wearing them. I mean, I've been with the beach patrol with the county 33 years, and I just, I felt a lot more comfortable with wearing that. And, if we have to go in the water, we go in the water. We're trained to do that. Hopefully we won't. If we see a problem happening, won't. But made some rescues. In fact, I've made more rescues as a beach patrol officer than I have as a
I would
lifeguard.
imagine. Yeah.
Because on the lifeguard, you saw something, you ended up, getting them away from the danger.
Well, another thing, some of back in the old days, the stands were a little further apart, and you would have to whistle for the next guard to help you if you saw somebody. If you were in a different franchise, say E.O. Baker had one, Moutry Lad might had one next to them, but you could you had to go into their territory too to save. It wasn't I can't go over there. I don't work for this guy. It didn't work like that.
Everybody backed up each other. And we practice that in surf school. And we still do that. We have, of course, we have the radio now, so everything works a lot quicker. You just hope the wind wasn't blowing, upwind, because you would.
Well, when I got here, late 80s, there was like an event that I went to a few times where the lifeguards would have competitions. For time and that sort of
in
stuff.
In fact, we had the National Lifeguarding Championships here in 2007. Okay. We've had regional competitions that include lifeguards from Virginia Beach, Virginia, all the way down to Jackson Beach, Florida, held here over the years. And we still do some of that. Okay. Most of that's taking place up in North Myrtle Beach. But we still have guards that enjoy that competition aspect.
Now, who do you think are best qualified as far as lifeguards on any beach in the world? Which would be the most dangerous beach, and those lifeguards really have to be tougher than tough?
Well, if you look at the Australians, they have problems with a lot of their beaches. Hawaiians have that. I've traveled around the United States in Hawaii looking at different systems, and depending on where you are. But if you don't guard it appropriately and watch your water, any beach is going to be a problem.
Sure. Well, you're right.
And we do have one thing to our advantage. We have a gentle slope, and also we have 50 yards chest deep on the distance a person can travel, which a lot of beaches, they let go as far, and then they get in problems. You go after them, but at least we keep them close enough. And we also are able to adjust. If we have a real strong longshore current, that day. We may bring people into waist deep, we even knee deep, and that's just for safety, because we want individuals come down and enjoy themselves at the beach, but we want those people to be able to go home in the same way they came.
Right.
So by doing this, we may have to restrict some of their activities in the water on certain days if the conditions are not favorable for having a regular day in the water.
How far back does this hat here go?
That goes back to the mid-'90s. That was the first official Horry County Beach Stroll hat.
That's a collector's item.
That's yes. I don't know if any of those are still
you were
around.
the first one, right?
Well, no.
You weren't?
I came on board in '88. Our Horry County Beach Patrol officers actually started in '85, and it's just progressed. We've had I've seen all of them come through because I assisted training them with a bunch of them.
You've been there longer than anybody so far, right?
Oh, yeah.
As far as
I've been
running the waterfront.
Yeah. And this is actually will be my, if you count my beach patrol days, my lifeguard, and my beach monkey days, this will be my 56th summer working on the beach.
Wow, that's crazy.
Man, buddy.
That's crazy.
That's old lifeguard shirt from
Vernon.
Old Vernon.
Vernon's Pinner. And
that
goes back to probably the mid '70s, called the city seals on it.
Right, yeah, they're on the sleeve.
Yeah, on the sleeve there. And the old one here goes back. Is my first one I got before. It kind of eaten up a little bit.
Oh my goodness, this is as old as I am.
Oh, that is
almost anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, that don't have as many stains on it as the other one. That's nice.
I know.
That's great.
And the thing is, the guys on the beach patrol, we started out with CJ7 Jeeps. Of course, they were soft tops. So over time, it was tops and vehicles being on the sand end up having problems. And we've used different types of vehicles. And now every 3 years they get new vehicles.
Yeah, the county takes care of you guys.
Oh yeah, definitely. We have F-150s. I ride a Ranger. We also have rescue boards now. Many of our vehicles carry those, because if you have a situation, you got to look at, is the rescue board appropriate? Is the rescue can appropriate? Or I'll just have to swim. We have fins. We have equipment that we can assist, look in different situations at hand. And we realize, hey, this is going. It's ironic. My wife wants to go sit on the beach. Well, I can't go sit on the beach and relax.
I get that.
If I'm not swimming or surfing or stand up paddling or working, it's hard for me to just be on the beach.
You can't keep your eyes off that water,
I'm watching the water, watching swimmers. It's one of these things that even when I go to these other beaches for lifeguard conferences, it's hard just go down the beach.
So you have to vacation in the mountains,
deserts, or the desert.
Yeah, you're fun. You're fun to hang out with.
I know.
Yeah, we're riding camels today. Well, I got to ask this as we wrap it up. So you're there, you're in your outfit, and then you see someone drowning. What happens to the firearm? How do you secure it?
I secure it inside my vehicle. We've got a system we work. Everything goes off. I mean, shorts, shoes, socks.
Yeah. Oh,
he's a vest, everything.
I have a vest and the whole bit. Everything goes in. And I've got it down to a pretty good science. Okay. And if I need to use my board, I can get up on top of my truck, get it down, and everything's locked up in that vehicle. So it's we don't leave anything.
All right, just wondering.
Yeah. Oh yes, that's the big question we always ask. What do you do with? But it
what
gets
happens
locked
to the
up.
gun?
No, it gets locked up.
Hold this, kid.
Well, his little black book is gone now that he's married. He had to get rid of that. It's secured.
Yes, definitely. But as you can see, the equipment's different. The other types of rescue devices that are down on the floor, or a molded rescue can, which many of our guards use. Or if you have a situation that's real rough, I carry a rescue tube. I can snap the person into it and bring them in. So it's a big deal. The equipment's there.
Sure,
right.
You use it, appropriately as needed, and the types of equipment. You look at conditions. It makes a difference on the equipment.
How much longer you plan to do this, buddy? You've been around forever. I mean, you don't plan to retire anytime soon, do you?
No, I know. I'm still, as long as I can get up in the mornings. I taught school 41 years and retired from that in 2018. I also retired from the county police department. They brought me back on.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
And I'd still do what I've been doing. Also, I trained the police department first aid and CPR.
They won't let
and
me
all
go.
Well, man, you got a good diet. I got to find out what you're eating, man.
Oh,
He's
he does.
been
Just
doing this
because-
56 years. It's
I'll be
crazy. You look
68 on my next
Well,
birthday.
he's a champion skateboarder too.
Well, we'll have to bring him
Oh,
back. and
yeah,
talk
I'm telling you,
about
we could talk this guy forever.
All right, yeah. There we go, yeah. All right, we'll be back with more River Talk after this.